Hey, this is Brother Peter with tidbits from the Word. Do you know that the Lord said, if you will ask me to forgive you of your sin, come into your heart and save your soul, I not only will do that, I not only will deliver you from sin, but I'll save you forever, and I will show you how to grow spiritually. Well, how you grow spiritually is through the Word of God, through assembling yourself together with a group of Christian people and learning on a daily basis, to buy a good study Bible and to get in that study Bible and study it on a daily basis. Then you will have your heart changed, and you will be able to have, the Bible said, the king's heart is in the hand of the Lord, and rivers of water it will whatsoever he will. God will turn you like a river. You go down there and you look, or you fly up in an airplane, you look down at a river, and it's like this. It's like a snake, all crooked, and they're all going everywhere. God turned that river for a reason. He turned it so, if you would study that. If you would just study the way of a river, there's a way of a river of that water cleansing itself, staying pure, staying from where it starts up there, down below to where you could drink that water. What that water will do on the sides of that river where it goes, that river may take a big turn and go down in the bend of a hollow and come back out and provide water for that land, and provide water around it, and provide water to go down into cracks of the earth, that it would come up somewhere else and be a wellspring for somebody to drink, and it will cleanse itself. Listen, God said the water returneth from where it cometh from. When the water is drawn up by the sun into the sky, comes back down in rain and runs down a river or a creek or a brook or whatever, and then returns to where it came from. The salt water that's drawn by the sun from the ocean, when it comes back down as rain, it comes back down as fresh water, and the water goes into the earth and comes back up, and we reuse that water. I like to think, and it's possible too, that all the water on the earth is on the earth. All the water that God made, all the water that God made, there's no more water being made. The water that is made, He's using. He's refiltering it, He's straining it, He draws it with the sun up into the air, He refilters it up there in the atmosphere. In the clean atmosphere, he brings it down through the atmosphere and purifies it, lands on the land, and it will be completely more purified, and then it comes back up, and we're able to drink it again. Did you know that all the gold that's on the earth is on the earth? Gold was made one time by God, and He made all the gold there is. There's no more gold being made. There's no more gold being made. You may find a new vein of gold, but it's not being made. It's already there. There is no more gold being made. Gold doesn't get made. Gold is one single product that God made. Now, every way of a man is right, it says, in his own eyes, but the Lord pondereth his heart. Now, God looks at the heart of man. He doesn't look so much at the way of man, because the ways of man are going to be problems. It says right here that a man in his own eyes, he thinks his ways are right. The Bible also says that a man can think his ways are right, and at the end find out it was all wrong. So that what seemeth right sometime is not. Make sure what you're doing is right. Make sure what you're doing is justice. Make sure that what you're doing is judgment. Make sure what you're doing is acceptable unto the Lord as a holy sacrifice. And that's what He's saying to do. And don't have a haughty or a high look or a proud hat when you're plowing. And you're plowing in the wicked places. Be careful. Because if you plow in the wicked places, it's sin. But if you plow in the righteous places, it is delight. It's a delight that tendeth only to pleasantness to God. And you won't come to want. You will have what your want is. What is your want? Your want should only be what your need is. If you have a need, then you have a right to want for that need. If I should happen to be hungry in my house, I have a right to have prepared for that hunger and have it in my refrigerator, so when I want it, I can go open my refrigerator door and eat thereof. And that's proper, and that's pleasant, and that's a device God allowed us to have in the United States of America, that we could do that. Some countries, it is not so. Now, we got to be careful how we get treasure, because if we get it through a lying tongue, or the vanities that are tossed to and fro in the wicked man and the wicked ways of today, we have to be very careful, because it says there, if we do it that way, then we seek death and not life. And he goes on to say in verse 7 of 21, Proverbs 21, that the wicked things, the way of the wicked, destroyeth them, because they refuse to do judgment. They refuse to judge themselves. You know, the Bible said if you will judge yourself, you will not be judged by God. You can judge yourself whether what you're doing is wicked or whether it's right. If you'll make the right judgment, then you're in good shape. The way of a man is froward, and the strange, but as for a pure, his work is right. Listen, be careful of the stranger. Be careful. Oh, I love this fact. I have heard it, and I've heard it, and I've heard it, and I've heard the preacher say it. And it's been very, very, very difficult for me to receive it. It's been very difficult for me to receive this fact. Separate yourself from those who cause evil in your family or in your life or in your way, or cause you to stumble, or cause you not to be able to perform, or cause you, listen, there are people that if you hook up with, they'll eat your dinner. And after that, they will eat your breakfast. And they will eat your supper. And when they eat all they can eat, and you have no more, then they're gone down the road. And they find somebody else they can eat on it. And after they've eaten everything you got and left you destitute, then they're going to go eat with somebody else. Have you been there, Brother Peter? Yes, I have. How many times? Dozens. I've been there dozens. Dozens of times. I'm 70 years old. I need to wise up. The Lord entrusted me with a little money this year. And I said, Lord, this is the exact third time that I can count, or fourth maybe, time that you've entrusted me with a little extra cash. Not a whole lot, but enough that if I was careful with it and used it wisely, it would multiply and keep me to where, with the little check I get from the government, I could sit right here and do the Lord's work and not have to worry too much. But you know what I've done? No. I have let those that I'm in touch with get to it, and I have squandered it away, the majority of it. Now I've got to double up and see if I can take what little bit I got and turn it back into enough and stay away from those that would eat my dinner and my breakfast and my supper and leave me destitute. And believe me, they're out there by the droves. They are out there by the droves. There are dozens and hundreds of them out there, and they will weigh on you until you got nothing, and then they go to the next person. I could write down a list of names and show you in fact where they are, and the guy that they're working on now is going to be the same way you are, left destitute and with nothing, and they're not going to look back. Not going to think about it?